Howdy, everyone. Hope everybody is doing good. Community post. There will be a name change coming for this channel. I will be doing a video probably a little later this evening, if not, then tomorrow, about the whole reasoning behind the name change and the different things that I'm bringing to this channel, some different programs and stuff that I'm trying to start up or have started up, but trying to advance a little bit. Um, there will also be a new email that is associated to this channel as well. I still have access to the other emails and stuff, so even though I'm not here all the time, if people are still needing assistance with domestic violence, bullying, racism, finding resources, finding information like on nursing homes or home health providers or anything like that, I still do all that. Just because this channel is leaning more towards the LGBTQIA plus community, it doesn't mean that I have stopped doing all the other stuff that I'm always doing. I'm still in college. I'm still learning. I'm still able to help. It just takes reaching out and giving me a little bit of information, and I can put it together and I can do what I do and hopefully help. I'm still getting roughly anywhere from like 7 to like 30 emails, sometimes daily. Um, Most of the time, I check them all about every 3 days and have anywhere from like 40 to like 65 emails that I have to check. And some of them are needing assistance, some of them are just asking me to drop certain videos with information and stuff. It varies, but I'm always open to suggestions. So if there's anything that you want me to cover that is not part of the LGBTQIA plus information, then feel free to comment and I'm sure I can put something together. I have probably about 60 videos that I need to make with information, and I just haven't had a chance to do it. But they will be being uploaded as soon as possible. I will make a video to go into further details about that. This video is about coming out as part of the 2S LGBTQ plus community. I've noticed that a lot of places are having prides in May. We have Pride at Norman on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of this month. We have Pride on the 11th here in my town. I'm not exactly sure why things have been put up through May instead of normally just waiting for June. Maybe they're doing small ones in May and they're going to do the bigger ones in June. I really don't know. But I will have that information and hopefully be able to make a video about um, where the Pride events will be held for different states, different areas. I'm still trying to put all of that together. But this video is about coming out because a lot of people choose to come out during Pride months. They feel more of the sense of the community and they want to go to their first Pride event, so they kind of feel rushed to come out. And I don't think anybody should feel rushed to come out. I think people should come out on their own, or basically like me and just not come out at all and just live your life and do you. You're valid no matter whether you say the words or not, basically. But there is a lot of pros and cons. And then there's even extra pros and cons when it comes to teenagers. But if you have learned something important about yourself, you may want to share this with your family, your friends, your coworkers, or others around you. Or you may not. It is normal to wonder about coming out. You might feel a relief that you finally get to be true and authentic to yourself, but you probably also think about how your world could change if you do share, how others will react. Will the people you tell spread the word to someone you'd prefer didn't know? Is it safe to come out? There's so many questions that go through someone's minds when they're thinking about coming out. And every question is valid. There is no stupid question because this world is a crazy place. And a lot of times when you think somebody won't accept you, they're the ones that's like 100% accepting. And when you just know for a fact that somebody will accept you because they have a cousin who is gay, or they have a, a best friend that their family accepts that's trans, and you just know that those people are going to accept you too, sometimes they don't. There is a lot of families that they're more willing to accept their children's or grandchildren's friends, or even a teacher that's out, but when it comes to their own blood, they want to condemn them. So you never really know. There are lots of reasons why people choose to come out, though. They are ready to start dating, and they want their close friends and family members to know. They don't want people making assumptions about them, or gossiping, spreading rumors, talking behind their back. They just want to deal with it head on. They are tired of hearing other people use stereotypes or negative labels, and they feel the need that it's time to speak up. But if they speak up, then that will out them. They are, or they feel like they are living a lie or not acting true to themselves and want to feel accepted for who they really are. There's also plenty of reasons why people decide not to come out, though. They are not yet sure about who they are or how they feel. They are still figuring things out. They may not know which part of the community they should come out as. I mean, you get somebody that's a trans man, but also gay and non binary. You know, do we come out as all at once, or do we come out as something and then, later come out a little more and come out a little more and come out a little more? It gets complicated. They are afraid that they will face bullying, harassment, discrimination, or violence. Their family, friends, or community don't know, and they worry what will happen if the people find out. Or they live in a community that has not been very accepting of the LGBTQIA plus people. They've witnessed this. They've witnessed the harassment or the horrific rumors and stuff, and they just don't want to be part of that. Coming out can be complicated for teens who depend on parents or other adults for care and for their well being. Some people who come out live in places where being LGBTQ plus is accepted. They are more likely to get support from family and friends. Each person should consider their own situation, and it is very different for everyone. I've personally known siblings that have came out, and there it was a trans boy that was born first, and then a few years later the trans sister come out, and the family accepted the trans boy because he was living more masculine. They knew that he would have a better profession in construction, or, the stereotypical men's work. But when the younger trans sister come out, they were not accepting at all. They kept saying how hard it was going to be for her in life, and what was she going to do, be a secretary and sit behind a desk all the time, or trying to tell her that she could be, a waitress, or, different things that they would not have wanted the trans son to do before they come out, when they were still identifying as a female. So even though it was the same family, it was two different things, and they accepted the trans boy, but the life of the trans girl was horrific. It was filled with abuse and everything else. And it made no sense because they accepted the first one. So it is very different for everyone. And just because some families or friends are accepting of someone doesn't mean they will be for everybody. But most people come out gradually. They start by telling a counselor or a few friends and family. A lot of people tell a counselor or a therapist because they want to be sure the info stays private. Some call an LGBTQIA plus support group so that they can have help working through their feelings about identity and how to best come out. Coming out is a big and personal decision. You won't know how people will react until the time comes. Sometimes you can get clues about how people think from the way they talk about the LGBTQIA plus community. Like, are they open minded and accepting, or negative and disapproving with some of the comments they have said? You can get an idea of how people think by bringing up issues. Listen to how people respond when you ask questions like, I've been reading about gay marriage. What are your thoughts on it? Or, my cousin's school is raising money to help a transgender student who is homeless. Is that something that you would donate to? You can always tell by their reactions, um, if you do bring up different topics. But even when you think someone might react positively to your news, there's still no guarantee. Everyone responds based on their own situations. Parents who accept an LGBTQ plus friend may be upset when their own child comes out. That's what I had just discussed. It could be because they worry that their own child might face discrimination, or it could be that they struggle with beliefs that being LGBTQ plus is wrong. Some things to keep in mind when you're thinking about coming out, though. First one, trust your gut. Don't feel forced to come out by friends or situations. Coming out is a process. Different people are ready for it at different times in their lives. You might want to be open about who you are, but you also need to be realistic. to think about your own safety. If there is a risk you could be physically harmed or thrown out of the house, it's probably safe not to share. Instead, call a helpline like the LGBT National Youth Talk Line, the Trevor Project, or others. There is a lot of them listed on my community tab to get advice and support based on your personal situation. The next one on this is weigh all the possibilities. And when I say that, there's no way that you can weigh all of them because possibilities come and go um, at different times. So when you think of the list of all the possibilities, it's probably going to be a few things left off, and then you'll be like, oh, I should have thought about that too. That's okay. Just ask yourself these questions. How might coming out make my life more difficult? How could it make things easier? Is it worth it? Those three questions can be the base of all the possibilities. The Trevor Project's Coming Out Handbook has a lot of tips and things to think about. If you're thinking of coming out to anyone at your school, you can consider reading GLSEN's Coming Out at School Guide first. There's a lot of information in that guide. Next one is have a support system. If you can't talk openly about your identity, or if you are trying to figure out if you should come out, it can help to speak to a counselor or call an anonymous helpline. Having support systems in place can help you plan how to come out or not come out. Support systems can help you cope if any reactions to your coming out aren't what you expected, or if you need emergency shelter. And next up is let go of the expectations. People you come out to might not react the way you expect. You will probably find that some relationships take time to settle back to what they were. Some might change forever. Friends and family members, even the most supportive ones, may need time to get used to the news. Next up, identify peer pressure. Coming out is your decision and your decision alone. Even if other people you know have came out, or if you have come out to some but not others, no one has the say in when, how, or who you come out to. And then you think about privacy. You might have friends who are mature enough to respect personal, private information, but there is a risk that it could leak to people you might not want to know. Therapists and counselors are required to keep information you share private, but only if they think that you won't hurt yourself or others. And it is a lifelong process. Coming out is lifelong. If you choose to come out, that's important to remember and not be discouraged by. You will make new friends, family, meet new partners, and join new companies throughout your lifetime. If you choose to come out, you will have to do it countless times. It may get easier as you become more confident and social attitudes progress, but sometimes it may be as scary as it was for the very first time. Always put your safety and well being first. Coming out is a personal choice. Take time to think about what is right for you. There are some pros and cons. Coming out allows the person to develop as a whole individual. It allows for greater empowerment and makes it easier for an individual to develop a positive self image. By coming out, the person is able to share with others who they are and what is important to them rather than having to hide or lie about their identity. Coming out frees the person of the fear of being outed and helps them avoid living a double life, which can be extremely stressful and demoralizing. Coming out makes it easier to connect with people who are also LGBTQ, giving a sense of community. Outlining some of the benefits and risks of coming out is not meant to convince anyone to choose to come out or not come out in any given situation. Rather, thinking about some of the possible outcomes of such a choice can clarify an individual's decision by helping determine the appropriate time for coming out and preparing for possible reactions. So, some of the benefits to coming out is the ability to live one's life honestly, building self esteem by being honest about oneself, developing closer, more genuine relationships with friends and family, alleviating the stress of hiding one's identity, connecting with other people who are LGBTQ, being part of a community with others whom have something in common, helping to dispel myths and stereotypes by speaking about one's own experiences and educating others, being a role model for others. But some of the risks of coming out, not everyone will be understanding or accepting. Family, friends, and coworkers may be shocked or confused or even hostile. Some relationships may be permanently changed. An individual may experience harassment or discrimination. One may be thrown out of their homes or lose financial support from parents or guardians. Sometimes people also loses jobs. Of course, the employer is not going to say you're fired because you're gay, but they make it impossible to continue working there. And you also have the public bathroom struggle as well. So there's a lot to it when it comes to coming out. And the key to this is safety first. And don't feel like Pride Month is there just for you to come out at that certain time because you can come out any time of the year. If you're not out, you can still go to Pride as an ally. You know your truth. You know why you're there. People at Pride will accept you. They share love and joy and happiness, and it's a great place to be. But if you're not out and your family questions it, you can always just say you're going as an ally. That way you still have some sense of the Pride event, the community, and you may find somebody at the Pride event that you can become friends with and they can help you figure out how to come out, how to do it safely. They may already know some resources and stuff in your local areas for when you do decide to come out. Maybe you can make a friend that can go with you when you tell your friends or your family. That way you have the backup system. But there are many people that attend their very first Pride as an ally, even though they are in the closet, and their identity has yet to be determined or known to the public. But you can come out any time of the year. A lot of people feel a lot of pressure when it comes to Pride months. They feel like they have to hurry up and come out so they can go to Pride. And that's not the case. You can go to Pride as anything you want to. If you want to come out at Pride, go for it. If you want to come out before, go for it. If you want to test the waters and then come out later on, go for it. If you don't want to come out, don't. Either way, you are loved and you are valid. Safety first, everybody. Much love.